Okay, so you're in Edinburgh,
Uh-huh.
a city just like overflowing with history and
Right.
magic,
Yeah.
and you're a Harry Potter fan.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Have you at least like thought about taking one of those Harry Potter tours?
Oh, yeah. I mean, with the number of Harry Potter tours offered in Edinburgh, I think it's practically a must.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into a specific tour that kind of caught my attention.
Oh, cool.
It's called the Harry Potter Magical Guided Walking Tour in Edinburgh,
Okay.
and it's offered by Get Your Guide.
All right.
You can find a link to book tickets in the video description.
Awesome.
But this tour is interesting because it focuses on like the inspirations behind Harry Potter,
Yes.
not like the actual film locations.
Right. So it's less about like seeing where they shot the movies
Exactly.
and more about how JK Rowling took inspiration from the city.
Yeah, like how she transformed real Edinburgh into this magical landscape.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it kind of like a journey through her creative process.
Ooh.
You know, like seeing how she took these normal places like graveyards, street names,
Right.
and just wove them into this magical world.
Okay, now you've got me interested.
Yeah.
So where does this magical journey actually take us?
Oh, okay.
Because
So,
I'm seeing some interesting places like
Yep.
Greyfriars Kirkyard,
mm-hmm.
Victoria Street,
Yeah. Yeah.
and of course the Royal Mile.
Of course, the Royal Mile. Well, the tour starts off at the William Chambers Monument
Okay.
and ends at 253 High Street.
Okay.
And along the way, you'll walk through those places.
Right.
But the guide isn't just going to like point and be like, oh, look, that's Greyfriars Kirkyard.
Yeah, because I could probably do that with like Google Maps.
Exactly. So instead, they're going to give you like the historical context, anecdotes, and obviously those connections to Harry Potter.
Right. Okay.
So like, imagine standing in Greyfriars Kirkyard.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just seeing these tombstones,
We're
but
gonna-
hearing about how those names inspired Rowling's characters.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Why even bother with a guided tour?
Hmm.
Couldn't I just like
Yeah.
explore these places myself?
Yeah, it's a valid question.
What's the added benefit?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
You could read a history book about Edinburgh,
Mm-hmm.
or you could walk through the streets with a local expert
Right.
who's telling you these stories.
So it's like a living, breathing history book,
Exactly.
but with like a Harry Potter twist.
Exactly. You get stories you wouldn't find in a book.
Right.
They can answer your questions.
Okay.
And, you know, often you'll be with other Harry Potter fans.
Right, yeah.
So that adds to the fun.
That's true. It's like a shared experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's like the difference between like looking at a painting
Mhm.
and having the artist tell you
Right.
what your inspiration was.
Precisely. You get a much deeper understanding.
Okay, now I'm excited.
Ah,
So let's talk about some of these Harry Potter connections.
yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with Greyfriars Kirkyard. It already sounds spooky just from the name.
It is, yeah, very spooky vibes.
So what's the Harry Potter connection there?
Well, if you're a fan, you know the name Tom Riddle, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, the inspiration for Voldemort's original name,
Okay.
it's on a tombstone there.
What?
Really? Yeah, and it's spelled a little differently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you're telling me like the name came from an actual grave?
It's from an actual grave, yep.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, you'll also find names like McGonagall
Oh, wow.
and Moody in the graveyard.
Seriously?
Yeah, so you can see that Rowling was like taking inspiration from these names.
Oh, that's so cool. Imagine walking through this graveyard
Yeah.
and then realizing
Yeah.
these are the names that became like iconic Harry Potter characters.
Kind of gives you chills, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah,
Okay, you've convinced me that Greyfriars is a must-see.
definitely.
What about Victoria Street?
Okay, so Victoria Street.
I hear it's like the real-life Diagon Alley.
Yeah, so imagine a narrow, winding street
Mm,
lined with these colorful, crooked buildings
okay.
and shops selling all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And it's got this like vibrant energy, very busy.
So it's not just a visual thing. It's
Yeah.
like Victoria Street actually functioned kind of like Diagon Alley.
Yeah, historically, Victoria Street was this bustling marketplace,
Wow.
just like Diagon Alley.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah,
So it doesn't just look like Diagon Alley, it feels like it.
exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next?
Well, another key location is the Elephant House.
Okay, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
It's like where Rowling wrote some of the books.
Yeah, picture this cozy cafe,
Yeah.
you know, tucked away on a quiet street,
Mm-hmm.
and you go in, and it's like filled with warm drinks
Right.
and literary inspiration.
It's like a pilgrimage for Harry Potter fans.
It is.
Wait, but didn't something happen to it?
Yeah, unfortunately, there was a fire in 2021, but good news is it's been restored
Oh, good.
and reopened.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, like, can you imagine going to Edinburgh
Right.
and not being able to see it?
It would be a tragedy.
That would be terrible.
And I think the fact that they restored it
Yeah.
shows how important it is,
Yeah.
not just to fans, but to
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the itinerary also mentions a shop called the Museum Context Shop.
Yes.
What's that all about?
It's not quite like Ollivander's,
Okay.
but it's definitely a treasure trove for fans.
Okay.
Imagine a shop full of all things magical,
Mm.
wands, robes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And they even have these Scottish Harry Potter editions.
Wait, what? Scottish editions?
Yeah, they're printed in Scots dialect.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so unique.
It's a souvenir that's both authentically Scottish and Harry Potter.
Okay, that's going on my list.
Yeah.
What about the National Museum of Scotland?
Okay, so the National Museum of Scotland houses the Lewis chessmen. Okay.
Have you heard of those?
No.
They are these intricately carved chess pieces from the 12th century.
Interesting.
Yeah, so remember the Wizard's chess game in Sorcerer's Stone?
Yeah.
Well, the chess pieces in the movie
Hmm.
were inspired by the Lewis chessmen.
I had no idea.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's amazing. Like, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Like, ancient chess pieces and Harry Potter.
It's really cool how it all connects.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this tour is all about.
Right. It's about these unexpected inspirations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see now why this tour is about inspiration,
Mhm.
not film sets.
It's about going deeper.
Yeah. It's like seeing the world through JK Rowling's eyes.
Exactly. And seeing Edinburgh through her eyes
Right.
is a magical experience.
Yeah. And it's no wonder she found inspiration here.
Yeah.
It's like the city itself is a character in the books.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay. Now, one thing I really like about this tour
Yeah.
is that it's interactive.
Oh, yeah. So is this where they do, like, the Hogwarts house sorting?
That's exactly right.
Because I've been waiting my whole life to be sorted into Gryffindor.
Well, you're going to get your chance right at the start of the tour.
Okay.
The guide will sort you
Okay,
into your Hogwarts house.
I'm already picturing myself with my house colors and a wand,
Yeah.
ready to explore.
Awesome.
Yeah, what else?
Well, they also have a Harry Potter trivia quiz.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
How hard is it?
It's actually designed to be enjoyable for all levels of fans.
Okay.
And what's really cool is it's audio-visual.
Oh, wow.
So think like magical images and sound effects.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, much more engaging than just like a regular quiz.
Is that fun?
It's like they're bringing the magic to life
Yeah.
right on the streets of Edinburgh.
Okay, so it's not just about seeing the sights.
Right.
It's about experiencing them.
Exactly.
It's about stepping into the world.
Mm.
Like feeling that excitement you felt when you first discovered Harry Potter.
Yeah, and that feeling is even stronger because you're in Edinburgh.
Right, like in the place where it all began.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sold. This sounds amazing.
I'm glad you like it.
But before we move on to part 2,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think makes a truly great Harry Potter tour?
That's a good question.
Like, what elevates it from just sightseeing to something truly magical?
Okay, so for me, it comes down to a few things.
Okay.
A passionate guide
Yep.
who can tell stories and knows a lot about Harry Potter.
Yep.
A well-planned itinerary
Mm-hmm.
that takes you to the best locations.
Right.
And those interactive elements that make you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like that mix of knowledge, passion,
Right.
and just like a sprinkle of magic.
Yeah, that's what makes the difference.
All right, well, I'm ready to hear more about what this specific tour has to offer.
Let's do it.
So let's dive into part 2,
Okay.
where we'll uncover even more secrets and surprises of Edinburgh. Okay, I'm ready to go deeper into this tour.
All right, so let's talk about the golden handprints outside city chambers.
Oh, yeah, the handprints.
The tour stops there.
Yeah?
And for Potterheads,
Mhm.
it's like a pilgrimage.
Yeah, to like touch JK Rowling's handprint.
Exactly.
The symbol of her impact, right?
Yeah, it's a tribute to her success and her connection to Edinburgh.
Okay.
And it's interesting to note,
Yeah.
they're not actually inside city chambers.
Oh, really?
They're on flagstones outside.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I might have gone into the wrong building.
Right.
Okay, so are there any like hidden gems on this tour?
One that often surprises people is Potterport.
Potterport.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, it's not explicitly mentioned in all the tour descriptions, but the name alone just screams Harry Potter.
It does.
So history isn't actually that magical.
Oh.
It used to be a port
right.
handling things like pottery.
Hence the name. Okay, so the Potter is just a coincidence.
Yeah, kind of a happy coincidence.
But I'm sure the guide can still make it interesting.
Oh, I'm sure they'll weave some kind of tale.
Right, connecting it to the wizarding world.
Yeah.
Speaking of tales,
Yeah.
we can't talk about Edinburgh without mentioning ghosts.
Of course not. The city is famous for its ghosts.
Yeah, it's like synonymous with haunted history.
You're right.
So does the tour play into that at all?
Well, it's not a ghost tour.
Right.
But Greyfriars Kirkyard, with all those graves and shadows, it's known as one of the most haunted places in the city.
Oh, no surprise there.
Yeah.
That place already gives me the creeps.
So the guide will definitely share some ghost stories.
Oh, cool.
And local legends.
Okay, so what about Edinburgh Castle?
Yeah.
It looks like straight out of Harry Potter.
Right. It's so majestic.
Does the tour go there?
It's not an official stop.
Okay.
But the guide will point it out as you walk along the Royal Mile. And, you know, they'll talk about how it might have influenced Rowling's vision of Hogwarts.
Oh, I can totally see that. Those walls, the history.
Yeah.
It's like Hogwarts in real life.
And to think, she lived near this castle.
Right.
No wonder she had such a vivid imagination.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
Okay, so this tour really encourages you to see the city through her eyes.
Yes, and it's about those aha moments.
Yeah, like when you realize how real things became magical in the books.
Exactly, like those names from Greyfriars.
Right, becoming Harry Potter characters.
It's fascinating.
It really is.
And the tour brings it to life through interactive elements and storytelling.
Okay, you mentioned an audio-visual quiz.
Yes.
I'm assuming there are Harry Potter trivia questions.
Of course.
How challenging is it?
Oh, it's designed to be fun for everyone.
Okay, good.
So, you know, don't worry if you're not Hermione Granger.
I was going to say, I'm a fan, but I don't know everything.
No worries. It's all about having fun.
Okay, that's good to know.
And the audio-visual part makes it more interactive. So it's not just about knowing the answers.
Yeah.
It's about experiencing the magic.
It's like those interactive exhibits at the Warner Bros. Studio tour.
Exactly.
Where you can, like, try spells and stuff.
Yeah, it's about those immersive moments.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think this tour does a good job of appealing to all kinds of fans.
Yeah, from casual to hardcore.
Exactly.
This tour also seems perfect for families.
Oh, absolutely.
I can just picture kids getting sorted.
Yeah.
Doing the quiz, taking pictures.
It's a great family activity.
Yeah, for sure.
A chance to make memories together.
Yeah.
Over a shared love of Harry Potter.
What about the guides themselves?
Yeah.
Are they like diehard fans?
It seems like they are.
Okay.
But they also know a lot about Edinburgh.
Right.
So they can give you both sides.
Like they're weaving Harry Potter references into history?
Exactly. They're like those witty storytellers who keep you entertained and informed.
Okay, I like that.
And that mix of expertise is important.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about fandom.
Right.
It's about exploring both the fictional world and the real world.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So have you looked at any reviews?
Oh, yeah, the reviews.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what people are saying.
Well, they're overwhelmingly positive.
Oh, good.
People rave about the guides.
Yeah.
And they love the interactive elements and the sense of discovery.
Right, like finding those connections between the books and real life.
Exactly. And the reviews highlight how the tour captures that magic.
Yeah, that feeling of being in the world.
Yes.
Okay, but what about specifics?
Sure.
Like, what are people saying about the places we talked about?
Okay, so Greyfriars Kirkyard, it consistently gets amazing reviews.
I bet.
People talk about the spooky atmosphere and how the guide tells these captivating stories.
Right.
And obviously they love seeing the names that inspired Rowling.
Oh, yeah, like standing in front of Tom Riddle's grave.
It must be surreal. And they also praise the guide for weaving in the historical facts and legends.
Okay, so it's more than just Harry Potter.
Exactly.
Like a whole history lesson.
Right.
What about Victoria Street?
People love it.
Okay.
They talk about the colorful buildings and the unique shops.
Right.
And they say it really reminds them of Diagon Alley.
I could see that.
And they appreciate how the guide explains the history.
Yeah, like how it was a marketplace.
Right. It connects the real and the fictional.
It makes it richer.
Exactly.
What about the Elephant House?
So people who've been there since the reopening say it's still got that charm, that cozy atmosphere.
That's good to hear.
And the reviews for the museum context shop are fantastic.
I'm not surprised. That shop sounds amazing.
People love the window displays and the huge selection of stuff.
Right.
And they especially love those Scottish Harry Potter editions.
Yeah, those are so unique.
They're the perfect souvenir.
Okay, I'm convinced. This tour sounds amazing.
I'm glad.
But I'm realizing now, it's more than just Harry Potter.
What do you mean?
It's about the power of a place,
Okay.
how it can inspire someone,
Right.
how real things become magical.
Mm-hmm.
It's like seeing the familiar in a new way,
You got it.
appreciating history and stories.
Exactly. This tour is about so much more than just Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's about fact and fiction.
Right.
History and imagination.
And finding magic in everyday life.
Precisely.
Okay, so that's a powerful message.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to part 3
Okay.
and talk about the practical side of booking this tour.
Sounds good.
I'm ready to plan my Edinburgh adventure.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm ready to book this tour. But
Okay.
how do I actually do it?
Well, booking's super easy.
Okay.
Remember, there's a link in the video description
Oh, right.
where you can book directly.
Okay, perfect. But what if I like to plan ahead?
Mm.
Can I book in advance through Get Your Guide?
You absolutely can. Get Your Guide's great for finding tours,
Right.
reading reviews, comparing prices,
Okay.
booking ahead of time,
Okay, good to know.
especially if you're traveling during peak season.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, for the big question,
Okay.
how much does it cost?
Yeah, tell me.
All right, the price depends a little bit on the date and time,
Okay.
but it starts at around $23 per person.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
That's way cheaper than I expected.
Right. It's a steal for everything you get.
Totally.
2-hour tour, expert guide, interactive elements.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah, especially for a Harry Potter fan.
Okay, but what if my plans change?
Yeah.
Things happen.
Well, Get Your Guide offers free cancellation
Oh,
up to 24 hours in advance.
that's a relief.
Yeah. So you've got flexibility.
Okay, good.
Now, you mentioned Edinburgh weather.
Yeah, it's notoriously unpredictable.
Right. So layering is key.
Okay.
Pack a waterproof jacket,
Mhm.
a warm scarf.
Yeah.
Maybe even a Harry Potter one for extra magic. And comfortable shoes.
Oh, yeah. Lots of walking.
Definitely.
Okay, so waterproof jacket, check.
Yeah.
Comfortable shoes,
Sick.
check. Harry Potter scarf,
Of course.
triple check.
You're going to fit right in at Hogwarts.
I know, right?
So what else can our listener do
Mhm.
to really enjoy this tour?
I think a Harry Potter refresher is a good idea.
Absolutely.
Maybe reread the books, rewatch the movies,
Yeah.
or even listen to some podcasts.
Ooh, good idea.
Like this one.
Yes, plug.
Just to get in that magical mindset.
Exactly. And I would also recommend do a little research on Edinburgh itself.
Oh, okay.
Learn about its history, its landmarks.
Okay.
So I can impress the guide with my knowledge.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
But also, the more you know about Edinburgh, the
Yeah.
more you'll appreciate those connections.
Right. Between the real city and the fictional world.
Yeah, it adds another layer to the experience.
Okay, noted. Research. Check. Any other tips?
Don't forget your camera.
Oh, of course.
You'll want to capture those memories.
And maybe even a replica wand
Oh, even better.
for some cool photos.
Yeah, embrace the spirit.
I think most importantly,
Yeah.
bring a sense of wonder.
Yes, that's it.
That willingness to believe in the magic.
That's what makes it special.
Yeah, it's not about the facts or the locations.
Right.
It's about the feeling.
It's about rediscovering that wonder that
Yeah.
drew us to Harry Potter.
And that's what I love about this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's about inspiration.
Absolutely.
It's about rediscovering magic.
In everyday life.
Yeah.
And those hidden stories.
Okay, so as we wrap up, I
Yeah.
have one last thought.
Okay.
We talked about how a place can shape a story.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the other way around?
Ooh, interesting.
Like, how does a story shape how we see a place?
I like that.
Think about how many people see Edinburgh
Yeah,
through Harry Potter now.
it's true.
It's like the city has become part of the wizarding world.
Yeah, it's tangible now.
Exactly.
And that's the power of a story.
It changes how we see the world.
It reveals hidden meanings
Yeah.
and inspires us to have our own adventures,
That's beautiful.
find our own magic.
Okay, well, it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
I agree.
It's been amazing exploring Harry Potter in Edinburgh with you.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listener,
Yeah.
we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity
And your imagination.
and inspired you to have your own magical journey.
Whether in Edinburgh or your own backyard.
Remember, the magic is out there.
It really is.
Just open your eyes and your heart
And your mind.
and maybe pack a wand, just in case.
Always a good idea.
So until next time,
Yeah.
stay curious, stay enchanted,
Exactly.
and remember,
Yeah.
the world is full of wonders waiting to be discovered.
It really is.